Hello and welcome back to the Ambassadors of Gaming. I am one of your hosts, Ambassador Michael, and we will now be discussing the Ubisoft E3 conference. I just got done watching through it. If you're unfamiliar, Ubisoft is one of the biggest publishers around, and they hold a conference every year. Publisher of Just Dance, Watch Dogs, Tom Clancy games, blah, 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 blah. So let's just get right into the announcements and news. They showed off at the very beginning a world tour for Assassin's Creed, the multiple dates. If you're not familiar, this is getting to become a pretty common trend for franchises. They take an orchestra or hire an orchestra to play the soundtracks of the series around the world, and it's pretty common for Japanese companies. Square specifically does it with Kingdom Hearts. They're doing it with Final Fantasy VII right now, and so it's not really a shocker, but it's kind of interesting to see. Their big announcement was their first one, actually. Ubisoft announced Watch Dogs 3. It's set in London. It is called Watch Dogs Legion. It is launching on March 6th, 2020. It is set in London, and it does include the recruiting system that lets you recruit NPCs, and they look to be randomly generated, I think. Maybe not, depending on story missions. This one followed a very specific mission, and that NPC looked like he was part of the storyline. He looked like he was a specific one, but I'm gonna guess that they're randomly generated. They each have their own kind of skills and abilities, things like strength against drones, stuff like that. They do have permadeath though. If they die, that's it, they're done. So, you obviously don't want your recruits to die. So you should probably make sure they stay alive. Ubisoft is working with the producers of Always Sunny in Philadelphia on a TV show. It is called Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet, and it follows a studio as they continue to work on development of a widely popular MMO game. And so it's basically a sitcom about game devs. So we'll see how that goes. It seems to be exclusive to Apple TV Plus. That seems to be the understanding. So see how that goes. Rainbow Six Siege is getting a new season called Phantom Sight. Looks like it's getting a new operative as well, with a mustache. So that's kind of cool. Brawlhalla is getting a new update with Finn and Jake from Adventure Time added to Brawlhalla, as well as Princess Bubblegum. It looks like there's a couple new stages as well, and those are all available today. Ghost Recon Breakpoint got a little bit of a highlight from John Bernthal, and it's pretty much the same stuff as before, more cinematic, more focus on him this time instead of on the ghost. There will be a beta on September 5th. They plan to keep it alive for years to come, apparently, and there's going to be a Terminator promotion within it. They didn't showcase really what that will be, so we don't really know much about that, but we do know it's coming. Talked about a mobile RPG called Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, and it just so happened to mention the infamous Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. So there's your obligatory Splinter Cell reference for Ubisoft conference. However, they did not announce a new Splinter Cell game, to not my surprise. They announced Just Dance 2020 because of course they did. It's coming out on all current platforms, and it will be in November, and it is still coming to the Wii. So there's that. For Honor is also getting an update, new limited time mode. It's called Shadows of the Hitokiri, and it will be from now until June 27th. Rainbow Six is getting a new entry in the series called Rainbow Six Quarantine. It will be releasing in early 2020, and it'll be a third-person co-op game. Whether it's story-based or not, we don't really know at this time. They kind of mentioned that it was story-driven, so it looks like maybe that, because that was a big complaint with Siege, is there was no story. So maybe this will be the story component to Siege for now. Next up was The Division 2. There will be a free trial for that game between June 13th and the 16th. They'll be completing episode 1 with their next update. And then episode 2 will be about the Pentagon. It will be coming this fall with an all-new raid. And then episode 3 will be early 2020. And as a weird cliff note, they were just like, oh yeah, by the way, the Division movie's coming out on Netflix. Though I don't know if you're familiar, but that was one of the first shows we ever did, is Ubisoft announcing that they're making a Division movie with Jake Gyllenhaal a couple of years ago. And so apparently it's still happening. Then of course we kind of saw this coming, but Ubisoft has announced a subscription. However, it's only on PC, which is weird. It'll be called Uplay Plus, not very innovative. And it will give you access to premium editions of their games. which doesn't really mean much. Ubisoft has like 6 versions of every game they put out, so I have no idea which one that is. There'll be about 100 plus games. It'll be about $15 a month. It will launch in September, and it will be available on Stadia as well as PC. The roller derby game that got leaked is indeed real. It's called Roller Champions. It's a roller derby game with a ball, and you go around in a circle, So it looks kind of cool, but they didn't really speak much on it other than that. There's a Uplay alpha test demo on PC right now. I think it's 4 days. I think for the next 4 days you can play it there. And then the last thing they left off on is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The team that was making that is making a new game. It's called Gods and Monsters, and it will come out on February 25th, 2020. And it looks like it's set in Greek mythology. So that's interesting. So as you can see here, there's a bit of updates. It's mostly updates with some new announcements. As we know, Beyond Good and Evil wasn't going to be here. Skull and Bones wasn't going to be here. And Ubisoft seems pretty content with not making another Splinter Cell game anytime soon. So I guess let me just run through this. Watch Dogs is new, but the TV show has nothing really to do with their games. Siege is an update. Brawlhalla is an update. Ghost Recon is new, but already announced. The mobile game, of course. Just Dance, of course. For Honor is an update. Rainbow Six Quarantine is new. It got leaked, but it's new. Division 2 is an update. Subscription service. Roller Derby. Gods and Monsters. So there's some new stuff, but again, it's followed pretty much the same pattern as Bethesda's. Here's a bunch of updates on a bunch of the games that we've already made that we want you to keep playing. I thought it was weird that Assassin's Creed didn't get any attention for whatever their next expansion is going to be. I thought that for sure would be here, but it wasn't. So I guess that's not happening. Honestly, the highlight here for me is Watch Dogs 3. It looks really, really good. I had no interest in Watch Dogs 1. I saw Watch Dogs 2, and I was like, no, this looks like a janky, like off-putting version of Grand Theft Auto made by Ubisoft. I'm cool on that. However, this looks more polished. It looks more fun to play. The animations look a lot smoother. They look a lot nicer. And so I'm much more interested in this version of Watch Dogs. And I think this might be the one I actually get. And I'm trying to think. This will be the last Ubisoft game we bought since Wildlands. We didn't really play Wildlands. We didn't like it that much. Daryl liked it a lot, but Chris and I didn't enjoy it that much. And then I'm trying to think before that was the last one I bought, because I don't buy Assassin's Creed. So it's been a while since I've played a Ubisoft game, to be honest. I'm trying to see if there's any. I mean, Quarantine looks like it might be good if it's not a zombie game, but it's probably a zombie game. I thought it was kind of disrespectful for them to put Sam Fisher in the mobile game. People are going to be really pissed about that. I don't care, but they're going to be pissed about it. And then that was really... Oh, there was a Terminator promotion within Ghost Recon, which is interesting because there's a Terminator promotion within Gears, and I think something else. I could be wrong, but for sure Gears. We saw that yesterday at Microsoft's conference, so that's interesting. And then Ubisoft subscription is what's the next biggest thing here. Because as of right now, we have EA Access, we have Game Pass, and we have this will be the next thing. But like on console, they only have Premiere and the EA Premiere or Access Premiere, whatever it's called. Game Pass, and now Uplay. So I can't remember the subscription cost for all of those. But I wanted to add it up because I think there needs to be a point to be made that's like, a lot of people don't just stick to one publisher, and so it's not particularly worth your while to buy a subscription from a publisher unless you're going to play a lot of their games. EA's makes a lot of sense because they do the sports games, but I don't see how it's going to be worth your while if you have Ubisoft and you don't play all their games. Plus, they didn't explicitly really say what it is. I'm going to look at their site actually. while I'm talking, because because one of the big problems I've had is that let's see, Uplay Plus. I don't want to try it for free. I want to get more information about Uplay Plus. All your friends want to play. This is just about Ubisoft. I don't care about that. The big draw is that you get these games usually for free. At least in Game Pass. Game Pass is obviously the best of them in my opinion. Let's see, early access to upcoming games. Yeah, Premiere you get the full game, and it has 220 games right now, and then 10% off purchases. Early access to upcoming games. Yeah, I guess you just get early access on top of the fact that you have to buy it. I forget how this works. I'm pretty sure you have to buy it. Like when you buy it, you just get the thing, whatever, free or whatever. I'm not really sure. Yeah, because Anthem's already in it, and it launched on it, I'm pretty sure, and so did Battlefield 5. So, but anyways, let's see. I'm trying to get more information because I want to find out if Uplay works in that same variation where you get games at launch for that much. So it's Game Pass. It's coming to Google Stadia. It'd be interesting if it runs across Stadia and PC, but it's $15 a month. They're all $15 a month, basically. If you're going to buy Game Pass, there's no reason for you not to buy the gold version. So, that's 15 times 3 times 12. That's like $540 a year. Just on subscriptions for 3 platform holders. That doesn't include, it doesn't include Activision. It doesn't include Bethesda. It doesn't include, all the other games you might want to purchase outside of these 3 companies. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if the subscription model's gonna work for everybody. For EA, I think particularly it works because if you're buying sports games, that it's totally worth your while. But if you're not, I don't think it is. And just like with Ubisoft, I don't play enough Ubisoft games for me to care enough to purchase them. So it would not be a worthwhile investment for me. However, for some people, it might. I found it surprising that it's not coming to console at all. It might just be PlayStation and Xbox just not playing nice, or maybe Ubisoft wanted to launch it, see how it worked on PC first before they approach Sony and Microsoft, and they have to, give them a cut of whatever they're making. So we'll just have to see. As of right now, however, I don't think it's for everybody. So we'll have to see how it goes in the future. I found the Uplay information after I got done recording this, so I'm going to interject it in here now. So according to Eurogamer, the Uplay Plus gives you premium editions of games. So for instance, you will get the $120 edition of Ghost Recon Breakpoint if you're a subscriber. It also includes all DLC released for games and enrolls you in beta, and you can download and play games offline as well. So it looks like there is more to the Uplay subscription than just that. I'm taking a look to see if there's anything else. Yeah, and then it'll come to Stadia in 2020. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to add that in there real quick. Otherwise, I think Ubisoft's conference was solid enough. It didn't bore me to tears. I am kind of exhausted. The same thing happened to me after Microsoft's conference yesterday. I'm I need a nap. I'm tired. I just feel drained from watching it, which is sad because I just sat here on my couch. I don't know how sitting here on my couch watching a conference drains me, but that's the feeling I get from watching all of these. I'm I'm exhausted and I want to go to sleep. So I think that'll be it from me, honestly. I don't really have much else to say about this. We'll have updates on this later tonight, or not later tonight, I'm sorry, later this week when we do Games Embassy on Sunday, which you'll see on free feeds on next Wednesday, and then you'll see on Patreon on Monday. So until then, that's all I gotta say on the Ubisoft conference. It was solid. It was decent enough. But this year's really just not been entertaining to me, and I'm glad I don't have to sit through Sony's this year as well. So, yeah, we have a Patreon. You can get cool stuff there. It's relatively inexpensive if you would like to make a transaction over there. I won't say donate because you're not really donating. You're getting stuff in exchange for your money. You will get exclusive access to exclusive content, actually. You know, you're the only people that are going to get this content on Patreon. It's not being released to the public anytime soon. We don't really have any plans on ever releasing it publicly. If that changes, we'll let you know, but it'll be a very long time before that happens. And then you can get comments, questions, concerns read on the show, or get the show early. We have plans to further expand ambassadors, but we're sitting on them as of right now because we just need, honestly, we need funds. So, you know, anything you can do to share if you like us, to let others know of us, we would greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to bullshit with us and listen to what we have to think. And until next time, I'm Ambassador Michael. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you later for Square Enix. Goodbye.